Chapter 15. Guilty Conscience. After my late-night run-in with Arturo, the Latin lover, gambling didn't feel very fun. I was there physically, but emotionally, I was someplace else. I stayed until I lost all $200 that I'd set aside to play with. No one even asked me about the guy from the club, and I figured that they all assumed he had just dropped me off. I watched my sister and closest friends have a ball on the slot machines, while my conscience was eating me alive. It was the second instance in my life where I was entirely surrounded by people, but still somehow felt completely alone. I missed my baby boy so much. I went for almost a whole year suppressing my feelings about what had happened to Joey, and after what happened last night, I felt like I was going to explode. In the middle of a crowded blackjack table, I felt comfortable enough to express what I'd done. "I slept with Arturo," I announced guiltily. Candace, who was sitting to my left, leaned in.
"You did what?"
she asked, and the other girls looked at me. "I slept with Arturo," I mumbled.
"Who the fuck is Arturo?"
"The guy from the club last night," I explained, and I could feel my face start to redden.
"Well, how was it?"
Candace asked. "Well," I started before Hannah cut me off.
"No, you didn't Hales. I know you,"
she said, waving me off. I'd just admitted to a group of my closest friends that I banged some random dude and no one even believed me. "You don't know me." "Hell, I don't even know me." "Yep, that's right. Your baby sister is just some slutty hotel skank." The entire table just stared at me, open-mouthed, but I felt better for letting it out. Something about saying it out loud made me feel like a load had been lifted off my chest. Afterwards, I was able to enjoy the rest of my day in Tampa. And when I went to sleep that night, all I could think about was holding Major in the morning. I drove the whole way in an amazing mood. I dropped off my friends first and then doubled back to bring Hannah home and pick up Major. When I pulled into the driveway, I unbuckled my seatbelt and went to get out when Hannah put her hand on my leg.
"Did you really have sex with that guy?"
"Yep."
"But why?"
"I don't know. Maybe because it felt like the wrong thing to do."
"So, you smashed a complete stranger because it felt like the wrong thing to do?"
"Yes, I knew you wouldn't understand. I have spent my whole life doing what's right. Being the good person, but look where that has gotten me. I've lost the only man I've ever loved. The only man who has ever loved me."
"I'm so sorry. Was that the first guy you'd been with since Joey?"
"Yep, and I kinda wish I hadn't, but too late now." I stayed there for several hours. Hannah and I told my mom all about the trip. I conveniently left out the sex with a stranger part. When I realized how late it had gotten, I said my goodbyes. I thanked my mom for babysitting Major and offered to pay her, but she refused any money. When Major and I got back home, it was well past his bedtime, but I still needed to give him a bath. I vowed to bathe him first thing in the morning since I still had to unpack and wash the clothes I took on my trip. I sat on the sofa holding him until he went to sleep. I loved just staring at him. He was my whole world. After I put him in his crib, I made a pot of coffee and started going down my list of things I had to do tomorrow. I interviewed at the hospital down the street last week, so I was really looking forward to hearing back from them. I'd been working part-time at an assisted living facility while I was in school, but they didn't pay well. The only reason I stayed there so long was that I really enjoyed being a part of the medical field and helping people. Now that I was a registered nurse, I was one step closer to my long-term goal and making better money. I grabbed my laptop, and while I was scrolling through my inbox, I saw an email from a dating website. It wasn't the one my girlfriends were using in Tampa for hookups. This one you had to pay monthly for. After you took a personality test, they were supposed to match you up with people that you had things in common with. As soon as I was done creating my profile, I instantly got 5 notifications and felt sickeningly overwhelmed. I shut my laptop off and decided to check it again tomorrow. Weeks went by before I logged on to the dating site again. My days were filled with broken bones, heart attacks, and other emergencies. I loved life in the ER, and there was never a dull moment. I was usually drained when I got off, but I pushed myself past the brink of exhaustion daily, just to spend time with my son. Nurse life would have been ideal. 12 hours, 3 days a week if I could have slept on my time off. But I was a mother.